So KONAMI just released one of the most broken and also one of the most balanced skills they've ever released. And you might be wondering, how can something be absurdly broken but also be absurdly balanced at the exact same time? Well, technically, if everything in the game is broken, nothing's broken, making it perfectly balanced. And this skill can be played in literally anything. And I mean literally anything. You know those disgusting Agent Enfields that a lot of people were starting to get a little bit concerned about? Well, let me show you some Enfields for some different archetypes. This is what Evil Eye is currently doing. We've got your Summon Breaker, your Negate, your Pop, your Immune to Destruction, and a billion cards in hand. This was a 1-card combo, by the way. Alright, what about Trickstar? Yep, that's interesting looking at Trickstar Enfield. Summon Breaker, a double Negate, and a Stardust Warrior for yet another Negate. Alright, let's look at some other archetypes. This was Vampire. Yes, the dogshit archetype Vampire. This is what you could do with that archetype now. Again, I think this was a 2-card combo, maybe. That was just a generic Vampire monster in hand plus your whatever its name is. Very cool. Moving on, we've got a S-Force replay here. Yep, another really insane looking S-Force Enfield here. Double Negate, Negate, and Summon Breaker. And also we've got Orcust. Yep, Orcust can now do full Orcust combo and full zombie combo at the exact same time. And guess what? So can Automaton. Basically, I'm not kidding, every single archetype in this game can now do something completely absurd if you just put this skill into your deck. So my job over the upcoming days is basically to show you a whole bunch of stupid deck builds using this skill to do ridiculous stuff. So if you're interested in seeing a whole bunch of videos on things like Evil Eye or S-Force, God knows what other archetypes I'm going to try, please do remember to subscribe as I'm going to be doing a whole bunch this week, so look forward to those. But for today's video, as you've probably guessed from what videos I normally upload in this channel, we've got Zombie Orcust. So here's today's deck list. Now I'm going to try to keep the deck list portion of this video fairly brief, considering every single card in here, except for the brand new Tuna Monster, are just old cards that have been in the game for quite a while now, and you've probably seen before, so there's not much point me going through them when you guys kind of know what they do. And it's a lot easier for me to show you what they do during the gameplay portion anyway, considering this is just a really big combo deck. But the thing we will go through is the brand new skill, your Revolution de Fleurs, whatever this is. So I made a video covering this the other day, but we'll go through it again here. Basically, at the beginning of your first turn, you can normal summon / set dark spellcaster monsters with 29 on attack without tributing. This is mistranslated, you can do it for the entirety of the duel as soon as the skill is activated. If you activate this skill on the second turn, you can also play one Necro Fleur from outside your deck to your field. So at the start of your turn going second, one of these Necro Fleurs is going to be on the field right at the start of the turn, and when this thing is destroyed, it can summon a Sorciere De Fleur, which is your big level 8, straight from your deck, which is quite convenient considering there was a card in your deck called Sauge De Fleur, or Sausage De Fleur. This thing can just summon itself to the field by popping 2 cards on the field, one on your opponent's, one on yours. You can pop this nice little level 1 you just placed on your field, summon a level 8, and you've got 2 level 8s to go straight into whatever rank 8 you feel like. Not to mention this thing on summon summons another thing from your opponent's graveyard. It's ridiculous, you'll see it during the gameplay, it's dumb. Alright, number 2, shuffle 1 card from your hand into your deck, and then play 1 Necro Synchron from your deck to your field. Then you can decrease the level of 1 monster on your field by up to 2. So this places the brand new Tuna Monster on the field. This card's name becomes Necro Synchron while on the field or in the graveyard. You can use each of the following effects once per turn. You can target 1 face-up monster you control, increase the level by 2 until the end of this turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material for a wind monster, you can summon a level 1 plant monster from your deck. And this is what enables a lot of the dumb shit, as this thing can summon out a variety of different tuners. The ones we're playing is Glot Bob, which is a card you've definitely seen before, and we're also playing the nice little Copy Plant here, which makes it very easy to go into things like Beatrice. Again, you'll see all this during the replay, so if you don't understand anything, don't worry, you'll see it during the gameplay portion. Alright, number 3, because if the skill wasn't enough already, it's got even more stuff it can do. Send 1 monster from your field to the graveyard to place a Sorcerer De Fleur from your deck to your field. Yeah, if the skill wasn't broken enough already, for some reason it can just place 3 level 8s on the field whenever you want them, which is completely disgusting. As for the rest of the deck list, like I mentioned already, it's all cards you've probably seen before, there's nothing actually new here. So without further ado, let's jump into some gameplay showcasing all the stupid shit this deck list can do. Today I've got 7 replays to share with you guys, all of which were taken from my Legend 3 straight to King of Games grind, which is one of the easiest King of Games runs I think I've ever done. The majority of my losses, not all of them, but the majority of my losses were basically just to the timer because I'm a fairly slow brain and couldn't play quick enough, or I just lose because I forget how my own combos worked. If you know what you're doing with this deck, or with various different variations of this deck, you're going to win almost all your games. It is very, very gross, so let's jump into it. Alright, so I don't quite remember what order these replays are in, but all of them, at least most of them, are just fat bangers. I also try to cover a wide variety of all the stupid stuff this deck can do, so... Alright, so this first replay is going to be an example of me playing under Lancia, because I wanted to make sure it was important to notice that despite being a graveyard deck that likes to banish, we can actually do things under Lancia.
Duel!
Alright. So, starting off my skill, unfortunately my opponent just has a Lancia. So I'm going to normal summon my Sunrise Skull, sending my zombie dude to the graveyard, or Banshee. Activating my skill to place my tuner on the field, the level 4 and the 2 becomes the 6. Because this is a wind monster, it now triggers the Synchron's effect. Summon a copy of your copy plant to the field. Copying your level 6 is level, so we go into our Beatrice. Beatrice can now send your Balerdroch, and we're passing the turn. Alright, Banshee vanishing. Alright, sending an Orcust to the graveyard, and there is your zombie world. So already, under Lancia, we've now set up the full zombie end field of your negate and your banish from this card, and of course we've got zombie world on the field from your opponent's playing a deck list that likes to not be zombies. Yeah, Monarch plays in shambles right now, no tribute summoning allowed. Alright, tries to use the effect of his... he just concedes. Yeah, try to use the effect of his Spectral Sword. I can banish monsters in graveyard, banish it, can't do anything, and yeah, he just concedes. Hadn't even used the negate yet. Alright, and we have the follow-up with the Orcust in graveyard ready to go. So yeah, it's nice to play a deck list currently that doesn't lose to Lancia. It makes Lancia's value drop drastically, because I'm pretty sick of just dying to Lancia constantly, so it feels nice to play something that doesn't lose to it. Especially considering Orcust in general just sucks against Lancia, but now we have this like pseudo backup plan, which is a very strong backup plan. You're literally just setting up the full zombie end field, so the full Balerdroch version anyway. Alright, so going second this time. This isn't the most insane end field, but I want to show off a very specific combo with this one. So what I want to show off is against Shadow, one of the most annoying things they do is they summon out Winder, and this deck sucks against Winder. But because their trap card is a main phase only effect, they don't get to respond before you can summon out a spell and trap negate. Let me show you. Alright, so skill activates, you start off with this thing on the field immediately, then we can use our skill again, swapping it out for a De Fleur. Again, our opponent can't respond to skills, and their card's main phase only, so you start with priority. Alright, so using the third effect of the skill, shuffling a card to summon our tuner, reducing the level to 6, and then summoning out our Chevalier. It's really cool that this skill is actually going to be used in this card, or potentially, at least I'm using it, because we get an animation for this deck as well. Now I'm really happy to see that one, where actually some people are going to be using this card. Alright, summoning this thing to the field, it is a wind monster, so it triggers our tuner's effect, summons a card to the field, and now my opponent can't use this in graveyard without being negated, or can't use this back row without being negated. If this was a flip monster and he had some way to summon out the Shadow here, we'd still lose, but I just wanted to show off you can set this thing up before back row's used. Alright, now he's going to send the Balerdroch, going to make my Knightmare Phoenix, discard my Banshee, discard this card, sorry. Gozuki's then going to special summon, tries to use Prison. We have a negate for that if we want to, I decided not to because I want to save the negate for the Incarnation, because he's just summoning a bulb for some reason. These two are going to become the Knightmare Unicorn, shuffling the final card. And unfortunately not enough for lethal, but we were very scared of the we're pretty scared, so we decided not to go for lethal here. We're scared of him flipping something. And Balerdroch summons back. Anyway, my opponent doesn't get what we're trying to play here. So yeah, that's just an example of how you can set up the negate before your opponent can even respond. Replay number 3, so hopefully these ones will be more back and forthy. So there's definitely a lot of back and forths in these replays, especially going second. I say that, this is against Darkfluid. Alright, so Darkfluid's going to set up his full setup here. He even entered on a Cynet whatever it's called, the popping card as well.
Duel.
So I'll fast forward him a little bit because he takes a lot of his turn. Defensor, reviving, field spell, searching, give, seen it all. Phantom, grabbing a mining. Yeah, it's not Phantom who grabs that. Ritual summons, makes the dude, draws a card with the this dude in a second. Make him send up the honey bot so I can't target his shit either. Searches for his decode, whatever his name is, the microcoder, sorry. Goes into the decode, gets the animation, which of course allows him to search for the assignment card as well. I do not like this old art, by the way, I think I prefer the old one. Actually, no, this old art's better. And I keep changing my mind on it. Alright, these three become the Dark Fluid, which actually does have a pretty banger animation. Alright, before finally setting up his back row as well. So a untargetable Dark Fluid with 3 negates and a back row. So first thing we're going to do, skill to activate, place something on the field. Fleur's going to activate. Now the cool thing about Fleur is it happens in the hand. Meaning if my opponent has something they want to respond to it with, such as this back row tries to remove it or negate it with this back row or something, they can't. The effect happens in hand. So I'm going to pop this and pop this card. Opponent's going to try to negate. Of course, we've got a Droplet discarding the spell specifically, so we can't chain the back row. Negating it, popping both, and summoning a level 8 from the deck, which then summons a card from his graveyard, which I can then turn into a Dingirsu. Evening Star, shuffling back, normal summoning, and then we just... This is completely overkill at this point, but why not? Splendid Rose, Necro Synchron. There is our Beatrice. Sending our Orcust, because, yeah, he decides to stop there. Alright. On to our next replay, whatever this guy's name is, Sislon or some shit. Alright, Battle Chronicle. So I think the Battle Chronicle matchup is actually kind of difficult-ish. Not, I don't know, it depends on what they get. This deck has a lot of ways to play through you, sort of. It really depends on your opening hand. If you hit things like a Droplet or an Econ, or if they manage to hit like the perfect opening hand. I think it's probably about 50-50 this matchup, honestly. Going second, you're probably favored, but going first, things are a little bit interesting. Alright, Koi Plant making the Beatrice. Sending the Beatrice to the graveyard. The amount of, the up or the graveyard. The amount of creativity this deck is going through, some skills going to create, just the amount of dumb shit you can do with different art types. I'm very excited to see what people are going to do. There is, one little downside is, I am damn sure an FTK is going to come out of this. I'll be shocked if someone doesn't make an FTK. Because, yeah, you can do just about anything with this skill. Alright, Evening Star going to be equipping. I also hope this skill gets something happen until before Worlds, because otherwise, yeah. Oh, yeah, a slight mistake here. I meant to click this card, I meant to click the Knightmare, because we ended on extra material this time, because we got to summon the Banshee from hand with the Gozuki, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what happened. Either way, we ended on extra material this time, and I accidentally used my draw 2 on the wrong monster, which is... Yeah, we don't talk about that, we'll just pretend I clicked the right monster. Anyway, summoning the boulder up and passing. So I'm meant to have Dingirsu on field right now to protect the destruction. So opponent's going to destroy a card on the field, we are going to banish one negate in response, use Set of Souls. Yeah, normally we would just be defending from destruction then, but whatever. Banishing his monster. Normal summons another Blue Eyes. Alright, Surges for his fusion spell. And thankfully we've got an Econ. We're actually not playing a limit 1 in this deck list, so I can just steal his stuff. Econ's so good at this actually. You've got so many cards linking in the graveyard, and you've got the level 1 that starts in the field to start the game. I just use to steal stuff. Alright, Balerdroch going to banishing. And using the skill, without going into anything else, we need to do Lethal, ignoring the Sunbreaker. Sunbreaker isn't even that big of a problem for this deck, because sometimes if you just open the big, whatever its name is, this card, you can just remove the Summon Breaker. I'm pretty sure I actually have a replay in here of me cracking an agent board that tried to do that. To be fair, it is a three copies in a 30-card deck, so you don't always get it, which makes Summon Breaker a bit of a pain in the ass, but the fact that we do have an out to it is nice. Alright, up against, is this guy playing Tachyon? Oh no, this guy was the agent player. This is the replay I was talking about. So we'll fast forward his turn because it goes on for a while. Venus, blah 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 blah. And this guy ends on a slightly bigger end field than I normally expect from Agent, because he ended on, he actually got to keep his Ancient Fairy Dragon on the field. Normally they get rid of. Making his tunes. I still don't quite know how this deck functions. I've never bothered to learn. I just know what their end field is and how to try to break it. Grabs his Summon Breaker, or ending on his level 5, so he's got a flip face down, a banish, a Summon Breaker, and a big defense monster on the field. Alright. So Fleur going to be activating, popping his Summon Breaker. This is what I was talking about. We have an out to Summon Breaker if we like. And my opponent tries to use Chalice because he doesn't realize how this card works. It's in hand, he can't negate it. I'm so glad he did this. This is a perfect example of how good this card is. Negate on field, doesn't worry about it, ignores it. So he negates this card for some reason. Alright, his summons level 8 from deck. He's going to Hyperion to banish this card. He's very quick to just use all these monster effects. Puts my card face down, and now we're free to play without caring about anything. My Revolution, these two make your Rose. I can now go straight into a Beatrice. Nice one for Beatrice. Beatrice is going to be sending the zombie to the graveyard, Orcust to the grave, sends the Orcust, special summons, use the skill to remove this face down for something else, because why not? Alright, there's my Galatea. Galatea going to be shuffling back, going my draw card. I have a World Legacy in hand, so I can get rid of that. Draw a couple of cards, put Harp and Grave, special summon back. There's a Knightmare Unicorn. And of course, Cymbal Skeleton revived level 2, going to Dingirsu to remove the final monster. Why is Dingirsu not got a cool animation, man? I want to see a Dingirsu animation in this game. Zombie World, and here's done. Yep. This deck was disgusting. And the fact you can do stuff like this in like every archetype now just by using the skill is so gross. Obviously some archetypes can have better synergy than others. Like right now I think Evil Eye is probably the best user of this deck, which will be tomorrow's video. But yeah, every deck can do something dumb with this. I saw someone playing Harpy and they were setting up the Harpy along with the Noble Knight or Infernoble Knight card as well, which is like, why? Infernoble Knight Harpy, why not? I'm against Burrow Load this time. He searched for a Lancia. Alright. Don't know if he actually Lancia'd me or not. No, he didn't. He actually decided to get rid of it. So, not the strongest end field, honestly. Normally they set up something else. I don't know why you get rid of Lancia, but anyway. Alright, Revolution, placing the card on the field. Sorcerer popping 2. Summoning out my dude, got rid of a Treacherous, which was pretty good. Summoning his monster back, and that's already lethal on field, is it not? I mean, this card's only immune to destruction from extra deck. I can't remember if it's just straight battle by opponent deck. I can't remember if it's only immune to battle via extra deck stuff or not. Either way, we can just Droplet it and he's dead. Even with Lancia, he just loses there. Lancia would have done nothing for him. Crazy to think about, a deck that has so much reliance on banishing, which is this deck doesn't care about Lancia, or at least doesn't care as much about it. Card designed specifically to stop banishing. Alright, so that was actually my game before the rank up to COG. I wanted to save the COG rank up, but it was a pretty shitty replay, so I didn't bother. This one I wasn't sure about saving, but I decided to just save it later on. This was against Dark Magician. And I want to say this one again, which is a nice example of that Shadow replay I showed at the start, where you set up the Synchro monster before they can do anything. Which actually let me do other stuff as well, because they tried to fight that, which was a little bit nicer than that Shadow replay where they didn't really set up anything. He summons a magicalized fuse into the big boy, the great double-casted caster. Anyway. Alright, so once again, opponent cannot respond to anything I'm doing right now. Making the level 8, putting the Duel on the field, reducing the level, making Chevalier. No response was allowed to do this. I could just summon this card. Opponent can't use his back row. Which again, someone trying to use Successor Soul is pretty good. Since Successor Soul sends its cost, he would lose his own monster if he tried to use it right now. And then I can just summon 2 cards, turn these 2 into a Knightmare Phoenix, discarding the Balerdroch, make 1 back row. Summoning the bulb. By the way, I didn't get to show it in any of these replays, but I did do it in some of the other gameplay. We are playing the Vermillion here, so if I had a normal summon of a level 8, I could have normal summoned this, which I actually did, so I could have normal summoned this if I wanted to, used it with the Glow Up Bulb to go into a level 9 Vermillion and pop cards that way. But I wanted to discard the card hand specifically, so I decided to go for the Knightmare route. Alright, and pass them back. Balerdroch coming out. So thankfully our opponent didn't have a top deck of Dark Magician here, as normal summoning Dark Magician would be kind of annoying. But tries to use the effect, we get to banish it. Tries to use the search, we can negate it. Alright. And he just passes back, whatever. I have no idea what this face down was. Might have been the 1,000 knives he searched for earlier or something, I don't know. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's replays. Hope you guys enjoyed them. Remember, I have a whole bunch of videos coming out this week, all using this skill in a bunch of different art types. So if you want to see those, remember to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.